Hi everyone, and welcome back to Life is Stellar. We are on episode 3, or at least this is the third episode I have recorded. And today we're going to be talking about something kind of fun, or at least not necessarily fun, but something I've seen circulating the app TikTok, and it is this word called Cheugy. Okay, and how this contributes to the overall annoying beast that is micro trends on social media, especially circulating TikTok. For people who've never heard of the word Cheugy before, you're probably very confused, or even the term micro trend is kind of confusing, right? But before we get into that discussion, I just want to point out that I'm going to be trying to film all of my podcasts from now on, and so another platform that I can upload this onto is YouTube. Let's just get right into it, okay? So basically, I feel like I have to start at the beginning. I feel like if you're listening to this podcast that you have some of the same opinions that I do, right? Or at least you're intrigued generally. I only really have one episode currently as I'm filming this that's out, but it is on fashion. So I feel like you definitely are interested in some of the same things that I am interested in, right? Whether that be fashion, pop culture, or anything of that nature, right? But if you are kind of well versed on pop culture, or at least things that are going on an app like TikTok, you've definitely heard of the word Cheugy before this podcast. And for those who haven't, let me explain. So I found out about this phrase on TikTok, like I've said 50 million times, because I've made my way onto the side of TikTok that talks about fashion and all that stuff. So Cheugy is basically a word to describe a certain type of clothing that is tacky, I guess is the word for it, right? So if you go on Urban Dictionary, which I am pulling up, okay, like the definition of Cheugy in Urban Dictionary, right, is the opposite of trendy, stylish in middle school and high school, but no longer in style. Used when someone still follows these out-of-date trends. This may include, but not be limited to, fashion, habits on social media, use of slang, etc. And then how they use it in a sentence is, my friend told me to change out of my favorite pair of Miss Me jeans because they were Cheugy. I low-key have no idea what Miss Me jeans are, but I think you get the point, right? Like something that is not in style anymore. That is basically what Cheugy is, right? Not trendy. But it specifically in the Urban Dictionary definition, right? I just want you to keep it, guys, in mind with this, right? It says stylish in middle school and high school, but no longer in style. I'm going to provide examples about this later in relation to what I'm talking about, but I want you guys to just keep that in mind as you're listening. That it's like something that you would have worn as a kid, or something that wasn't like, okay, like gaucho pants, right? Like gauchos, which are those capri style. They basically look like yoga pants now, like flared leggings, but they're looser and they like go right below the knee. And they used to be brown, and you would wear them with the like Paul Frank like monkey t-shirt thing. I don't know. That's like I feel like that's an example of like what is something that's Cheugy, right? So now that we have that definition out of the way, if we're going off of this definition, right, that is on Urban Dictionary that I've seen people on TikTok describe, right? A lot of the TikToks that people make relating to Cheugy content, right, it doesn't like apply. They're just like not using it right. And I feel like in this way, not that it's, and the thing about TikTok is, and the thing about any social media, it doesn't matter what's like, that really is like not that big of a deal. Okay, they're misusing an arbitrary word, right? Like who cares? Here I am talking about it. I promise I don't care about the word that much. I will get into what is bothering me. As you can tell, I'm kind of getting heated. I think people are using this trend to just say their opinion on what they think is fashionable versus not fashionable, which is totally fine. People on TikTok, I have seen people on TikTok do many of fashion videos, right? Like anything related, and it's really everything you see is subjective. But I think they're almost like, it's almost like people are hiding behind the word Cheugy to just like say, well, I don't think this is cute, or I don't think this is stylish, or I don't think this, or I don't think that, which once again, the opinion is fine.
Okay, hi, editing Stella here. I seem to be tripping up a lot over my words in this portion of the podcast, and what I wanted to reiterate, or at least bring some clarity to what I meant, is that I think people are using the word cheugy to just hide behind a way to bully others for their likes or dislikes. It comes off very like, I'm cool, you're not type of thing, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to get at. If you didn't really understand it, I did not state that very clearly. But that's, I think, what I'm getting at here.
If we're using the word, they're not using it correctly, right? They aren't using the word correctly, and I'm gonna explain that. So I've seen a ton of videos, and I honestly would recommend that you watch this video done by Mina Lee on YouTube, and she is kind of a fashion blogger, YouTuber, or at least she analyzes fashion and things through the lens of fashion. I love her content so much. But she recently did a video on micro trends, and she mentioned, or she showed a lot of videos from TikTok in that in her video that basically confirmed what I'm saying about this whole cheugy trend. See, this is the thing. I feel like I'm not supporting it with any evidence because I probably won't show any of these TikTokers' videos, but I also don't want it to seem like I'm coming after them or attacking them or something, because they are entitled to their opinion. I just think that if you're using it through the lens of something that's cheugy, it's a little just, it's not correct, and it also contributes to a larger problem that circulates social media and TikTok and fashion today, right? But this one girl, she posted on TikTok, and she is a fashion blogger, I believe. I've seen like 2 of her videos, maybe have showed up on my FYP. And she was talking about like, okay, like something like a block-heeled sandal is kind of cheugy. Like you might want to opt out for a thinner heeled sandal with like a more strappier thing and all this stuff. She said like, okay, wearing an Apple Watch band with like a fancy outfit is cheugy. Like you want to swap out the band for something more sophisticated. And I totally agree with her that I think that those are more sophisticated or maybe dressier options, like if you're looking to dress something up instantly. But I'm 90% sure she used the word cheugy in this video. I wish I still had it. I definitely do not have it saved because I was trying to prepare like things for this video the other day. I definitely do not have it saved. But yeah, I'm 90% sure she used the word cheugy, or at least I've seen another video of hers that she was talking about trends that are cheugy. I just don't think using the word cheugy for those style choices are correct. Like that's not really the correct use of the word. And it almost comes off as very like judgmental, and people ripped her to shreds in the comments, like ripped her to shreds. Who are you to judge my style and all this stuff? Like it was, oh my God, like I felt kind of bad. I'm like, I don't think that's what she meant by the video. And that's what I think a lot of the creators who do these cheugy videos or whatever, I do not think they're trying to intentionally make this like a bad thing, if that makes sense. Like I don't think they're trying to be like hateful or spiteful. I just think that when you're using it in that word, that like cheugy is like tacky, cheugy is untrendy, right? Cheugy is something I would never be caught dead in. I just think that's a little like, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't sit with me 100%, even though I know that's not their intention. And so now I'm going to give you a more specific example. Okay. So there was a guy who did a cheugy video. I don't know his TikTok user or what his name is, but he did a video that he was like, trends I think are cheugy.
Okay, hi, editing Stella once again. Sorry I keep interjecting at random times, you guys. I completely apologize, but I did want to say that I am actually going to show the video because I kind of thought for a while in the time that after I filmed this, between editing it, I thought I was, thinking too much or reading too much into his video. And I'm going to show it because I found it, and I've seen some other TikToks of people commenting about his video. Like I've kept saying, he's completely entitled to his opinion, but the way it's coming off is very judgmental, kind of like how I described the last girl's video. So I'm going to show just like a little bit of it, and yeah, I wanted to show it because I feel like it's important to show. And I wanted to make a correction to what I said. His video was not trends I think are cheugy, it was trends I think will be cheugy in give or take a couple months or a year or however long the time frame he said in the video.
I personally think these fucking things were Cheugy from the goddamn start. But Miss motherfucking Polly Pocket needs to pack these bitches up and throw them in the goddamn dumpster, okay? The House of Sunny Hockney dress. If I see this goddamn dress made in one more fucking color, I am leaving this planet and I'm going to fucking Pluto, bitch. Like, this dress is like a one-hit wonder. Like, it's only popular right now, and I can tell you right now that in maybe 3 months from now, people are gonna be like, what the fuck is that? This kind of ties in with the first necklace, but those goddamn phone charms, bitch. Swinging back and forth in my motherfucking face all goddamn. In the next 2 months, the Pinterest bitches are gonna find something new to attach with the goddamn phone.
He's saying they will be Cheugy in 10 years. I think that was the purpose of his video. He was like, they're popular and trendy now, but they will go out, essentially saying these things will go out of style. And the example he used that really just like I did not agree with was the Hockney dress from House of Sunny. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, because I'm not good at brand names, so I would totally understand if you do not have any idea what I'm talking about. But the House of Sunny Hockney dress is that sage green midi dress, right? So a midi dress is something that doesn't go to your ankles, but goes a little past your knees. But yeah, it's that sage green midi dress with those circular, darker green patterns on the dress. And it's like it looks like it has the neckline of a tank top, right? And then in the back, it has like 3 like cutouts. I just like don't understand, like, if you know, and I have no idea what his fashion knowledge is, so I think this is why I'm kind of hesitant. I don't want to come for his knowledge of fashion, because like, who the fuck am I? I literally have never, I just am a fashion connoisseur. I enjoy fashion. I enjoy learning about fashion. I enjoy reading about fashion. I will watch runway shows in my spare time. That is just something that I definitely like fashion, right? But I'm not educated. I don't go to school for fashion. I have never taken a fashion class. I've never learned how to sew, anything like that. I don't know any information. So it would be hypocritical of me to say these things and not acknowledge my like lack of education in the fashion world. But I feel like some of these things are kind of common sense in terms of trends and what's trendy and what's not. And I feel like anyone who's not even well versed in fashion could pick up on that. But like, let's look at the House of Sunny dress, right? So I'm on their website and I am looking at the House of Sunny dress, the original. Now they have it in different colors. They have like a brown, a blue. They have the same style of mini dress, but they have it in different patterns. They have a hibiscus print, which is super in now. I just like looking at this dress, something like this will never go out of style. Sure, it could be a last season's trend, right? So I totally agree with him in the sense that like, that's not, the House of Sunny dress might not be trendy in a year from now. But you guys, the dress is $100 or it's $98 in euros. That means it is $116 US to buy this dress. The average consumer is not going to go out and immediately buy an $100 dress, right? But if you look at it, right, you're like, oh my God, that's a really cute dress. I think it's cute. I could see myself wearing this a year from now. I could see myself wearing this 2 years from now. I feel like there's a central difference between what's trendy and what will never go out of style. Lines of this dress, it is so simple. The cut of it, I have seen this dress on so many different body types and it looks good on literally every single person I have seen it in, on TikTok or on the internet, on social media. It's almost like timeless, the silhouette of it. And that type of dress was very popular in the 90s, right? Like people would wear really long dresses or long skirts with gym shoes with boots, combat boots. So I feel like this is, the line clearly has, the actual line and style of the dress has clearly remained prevalent and reemerged in society, right? This is not something that has been eradicated. That's what I mean by the silhouette of the dress. The silhouette, make, model of the dress, acting like it's a car, is timeless. And I don't think will ever go out of style. Then if you're looking at the actual pattern of it, these circular, multicolored, like geometric shapes and lines at least makes me think of the 60s, right? We had like super geometric patterns, very straight type of dresses, and they were geometric. Like if you see like anything, I don't know, like wallpaper even from the 60s or something like that, they can have like those super squares with the outlines of the squares. Like it's stuff like that. And that's literally what this dress is. but with circles. So in my opinion, I don't see how this would go out of style. Therefore, it's not correct to call it cheugy. That is my case in point about the cheugy argument, right? That's what I mean. And no hate to this guy's video. If you know who I'm talking about, if you saw a video that was similar to that, or if you think you know what video it is, no hate to that guy. I actually thought he was pretty funny in his analysis about why he thinks these things will be cheugy. Now, okay, enough talk about friggin' cheugy. That is really not the point of this podcast, or that's not the point of this episode. I wanted to get into a larger issue about microtrends and how I think videos like that unknowingly kind of contribute to a microtrend type of thing on TikTok. So if we're kind of thinking of TikTok, right? TikTok is most impressionable, I feel like, to young women and men. But if we're talking about fashion, I feel like generally women more than men care about fashion. Men can care about fashion, of course, but I feel like the audience that these kinds of videos attracts are women, okay? Women of all ages. Okay, so I went on a website. I just found a statistic because I want to break this down correctly, right? And this is from a website called Statista. This website is not accurate. Someone please let me know. This is what I'm seeing on this website. It is giving me a bar graph, and it is saying distribution of TikTok users in the United States as of March 2021. So that was a couple months ago. Okay? 25% of TikTok users are 10 to 19. 22.4% of TikTok users are 20 to 29. 21.7% are between 30 to 39, 20.3 to 40 to 49, and 11% is 50 plus. But the range between the 10 to 19 year olds and the 20 to 29 year olds is not that drastic, right? We have a 22.4% for the 20 to 29 year olds and a 25% for a 10 to 19 year olds. But nonetheless, this is telling me at least that TikTok users are predominantly in their adolescent teen years, right? Even me, I'm 21, right? So I fall amongst the 20 to 29 category. Maybe now I feel like I have a more grasp on what adulthood means to me, but as far as last year, I feel like I still felt like a teenager, right? Like, let's just put it in this perspective that there's a lot of young, impressionable minds on TikTok, right? And for someone who's trying to figure out their identity, I feel like a huge part of identity, fashion, is amongst that. You quite literally everything, even when TikTok was not around in 2014 and 2013, my identity was literally built around aesthetics that I read about in books. Like, I was a Hunger Games obsessed, Percy Jackson obsessed, right? Like preteen. Like, you are just thinking about it in terms of aesthetics. Everything is about aesthetics. I was obsessed with the singer Melanie Martinez. I wanted to dress in tennis skirts and pastel colors. Tumblr, the app Tumblr that was popular in 2013 or 2012 to 2014, that app is literally built around aesthetics, developing a theme, making your quote unquote website blog, right? That is still permeating young adolescents today. It is. I think that, obviously, like I just said, like, fashion plays a ginormous role in what you want to be, how you want to identify, right? What you want people to perceive you as. And so when these videos are, posting about like what's going to be trendy or what's not trendy, I feel like it's almost kind of very, I don't want to say damaging for the younger generation, but like, I feel like it becomes harder and harder to feel cool, right? So if you wanted to buy the House of Sunny Hockney dress next year and you're 16 years old and you want that dress because you like the way it looks, there might be a thing in the back of your head that's like, oh, well, that's not trendy anymore. When you get older, you kind of like, that's all noise. Like, what you want to wear and who you want to be kind of doesn't, like, other people don't influence that, at least your aesthetics and your personal style, right? It might to some degree, but generally I feel like it's not prevalent, right, in your mind. Aesthetics are a huge part of teenagers' lives. And so when you're seeing something like that, it's kind of just like, it's almost like your personal style always just feels out of reach. I act like I'm so unjudgmental. I definitely am a judgy ass person, but I don't know, when it comes to this, it just seems so weird. Like, especially with trends that are cute, right? Let's move forward and let's get into the micro trend situation. Using the Hockney dress as an example, I'm sure you all have scrolled through TikTok and seen this striped halter knit dress, right? Or a funky top of some sort. Across the shoulder, one shoulder, the trend where you flip you have an eyelet in the center of your shirt, things like that, right? A funky top, anything that you might have saved to a Pinterest board that you're like, that's what I want to look like, right? And sadly, I've done this multiple times where I look at these people wearing these clothes and I immediately say, oh my God, I need to buy a whole new wardrobe. Like, I feel like my fashion sense of style is completely inadequate to what is trendy now, right? When in reality, it's like, well, some of these pieces may always be cute in your eyes or trendy, falling prey to wanting something when it's just a trend kind of limits your personal style. And I'm gonna play this really awesome video by this TikTok user, but she basically talked about TikTok micro trends and what you can do to use a trend to develop a personal style. So I'll play that right now.
So you like a new micro trend. How can you incorporate that into your style without having to buy a completely new wardrobe or having to buy the exact shirt that everybody else has that's obviously going to go out of style soon? Let's use this top as an example because I know a lot of people like the hibiscus print and that new trend. What do you like about this? Do you like the flowery print, like the Hawaiian sort of print? Or do you like the colors? Do you like the style of the dress? If you like the floweriness, you can put more floral items into your wardrobe. If you like the colors, you can start experimenting. And yeah, that's kind of it. Part 2 of me dissecting more micro trends on TikTok to show you how to incorporate them into your style without having to buy a completely new wardrobe every 3 weeks. Starting at number 1, we have this knit dress that I think a lot of us have seen. And I love it, it's cute. But you can ask yourself, what do you like about this dress? Do you like the colors of the dress? Or do you like the fact that it's a halter dress? Or do you just like knit designs, but this color is not particularly of your style or liking? For me, I'm not a huge fan of horizontal lines all over the dress or the halter part of it, or the colors actually. So I would go for something more like this that's more fitting to my style. I think I could fit one more if I talk really quick, so we're gonna talk about funky pants. Super cute, but also I think a lot of people doubt how amazing it is to style an interesting, intricate pant. If you want cool pants on a budget, I would actually start looking for skirts because they're a lot easier to come around. And look how nice it is to style and match. It's so pretty to look at. Or maybe you can go like vintage with it, because with a product like this, I feel like you'll literally never run out of ideas of how to style it. I don't know, maybe.
So I totally agree with her because it's kind of overwhelming when there's a lot of clothing trends and you want them all, right? Like, oh my God, that halter dress is so cute, I want that. But also, oh my God, I want a knockoff of the House of Sunny dress. Oh my God, I want, this or that, or oh my God. But like when you have, at least I know that my closet is filled to the brim and somehow I still am finding myself wanting more pieces of clothing that fit these types of micro trends, when in reality, some of this stuff I don't think I could ever actually see myself wearing or it not working for me, but for some reason I have the desire to want it. You could want all these clothes because maybe that's how you dress. Maybe I guess this is kind of a counterpoint to what she was saying, but maybe you do just like things that are trendy, that you genuinely are like, oh, well, I like the House of Sunny dress and I still do. And I actually don't think there's anything that I need to pull out of it to make me like my other pieces of clothing. I genuinely just want this dress. But this comment aligns and will further expand off of what she was talking about, right? That try to recreate these pieces or these outfits, but using essences from these pieces in your own wardrobe. So what I mean by that is exactly what she said. What is it you like about the House of Sunny Hockey dress? Do you like the pattern? Do you like the color? Do you like the shape? Do you like the neckline? Do you like the length? Do you like the style of dress? Do you like that it's a dress and not this, and not a skirt? Do you know what I mean? Things like that, because then you can really start to find some more options that are affordable. And this goes to my biggest point, that I feel like trends are literally built around the people who can afford to get them right away. Like I just was saying earlier that oh my God, I would literally rather like lick the bottom of my shoe than like make an impulsive decision and spend $100 on the House of Sunny Hawking dress. What I mean is like, you aren't gonna make an impulse decision. I feel like that's like, impulse buys are really only for people who can afford to make an impulse buy. And then I feel like it's just perpetuating this cycle where it's like, oh my God, well, people who are rich or people who have money are the only types of people who can keep up with fashion trends and are allowed to dress trendy. So I don't know, food for thought on that one, but that's kind of just how I see it. Not only to that point about the money, because I feel like that's a topic for a whole nother video. Fashion is very limited by people who are rich, and it's kind of like a gatekeepy type of industry, right? Or at least people who have money. I even saw a video recently, someone talking about the industry and how it's very, very hard to get jobs in fashion if you don't know someone, or the networking. Yeah, I don't know. So that's food for thought. But all in all, what I wanted to try to get across is I just think that like some of these trends, or some of people saying that things are cheugy and stuff like that, it can contribute to or confuse people's fashion identity. Yeah, I also think on another thing that is a problem with fashion in these trends is that we're really advertised fashion on people's bodies who are skinny, which is a topic that I talked about in my first episode. So if you want to hear more about that, please go to my first episode because I talked in great length about that whole topic. But that's part of the problem too. But yeah, I think in that way, TikTok can be harmful for young people and people who are trying to figure themselves out. And I don't know. I guess my lesson is for people who maybe happen to listen to this is don't let anyone tell you that something is out of style, because even if it was someone like me who said, oh my God, that's fucking ugly, who gives a shit what I say? You do you. And in a larger sense, you know, I hope that TikTok and creators on TikTok kind of think about what they're posting before they post it. There's a lot of impressionable people who are looking at them and looking at the app, or who look up to them. They're trying to develop and they're trying to figure themselves out. And sometimes things like this don't really help. This is just what I'm seeing, and it's been kind of irritating me. So that's why I wanted to talk about that today. Embrace your style and really try to find your personal style. If you're struggling, you're gonna figure it out. You don't need to be, I sound like this is so like profound, but it's true. Sometimes style can be frustrating. I feel like I struggled with finding my personal style for so long, and you don't need to really have a certain aesthetic. You don't really need to fit a mold. Just figure yourself out, and don't let these micro trends or the idea of money and things scare you into thinking you can't be fashionable. Thank you all for listening. If people happen to listen to this and want to provide feedback to me, or want to give me suggestions for episodes, if you enjoy hearing me talk, that's kind of going to be what this podcast is. It's going to be a place for me to really dissect some concepts here, because I love doing that. I love talking about anything pop culture. If you want me to talk about movies or books, or I think I'm actually going to talk about books in the next episode, let me know if you are so inclined to do so. And this is Life is Stellar with me, and I will see you next time to discuss another topic. Bye!